What's up YouTube? Anything Billy here. On today's video we're going to be replacing front brakes and rotors on a 2012 Mazda 5. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put a towel over the brake reservoir. That way when you push in the piston the air can escape easier. The tools you'll need for this job is you'll need a 7mm X-head, a 17mm socket and ratchet to take the caliper bolts out, some type of compression tool, and no job is complete without the hammer. Other tools you may need is a straight screwdriver and a small pair of pliers. So the first thing we got to do, it's hard for you to see because I've already got it turned, is it has this little spring or holder right here in front to keep the calipers on. Most of your Fords and Mazdas have these. You just got to work it off. Here's that spring. There's that spring. Sorry about the lighting. My flashlight's about to go dead, but after you take the spring off, you want to take your 7mm hex socket. Break them loose. They shouldn't be that tight. So you break these loose. Unlike the BMWs, you got plenty of room to work here. So take your straight screwdriver. Push those out of the way. The bottom one's always the hardest one because you can't see. Okay. I don't have it screwed out enough. I thought I did by now. There we go. It will help if you get on the right bolt. Well, what's the world? Let's see here. Yeah. There we go, finally. Woo, that scared me. That scared me. Yeah. Alright, so next, take your caliper tool. Take your caliper tool and press in the caliper piston. Go really slow so you don't push too much air up through the brake system. If you hear the people in the background laughing, they're working on something else. These brake pads are, I don't know if you can see that, but they are almost identical to the BMW. They got these pieces on them. So we'll just try to put them in the hole and push them in there. Alright. Next thing we want to do is get this bracket off. That's where the 17mm comes in. Here's while we're replacing the rotor. You can see right here on top, it's metal to metal. I've already took the liberty and cleaned the new rotor off camera. Make things go a little faster. Screw your lug nut on here. Screw your lug nut on there so you can hold the rotor on there. This car has no hardware, so you don't have to worry about replacing any of the hardware. So we're going to okay. Am I dumb or is them too big? There we go. Alright. Put the caliper bolts back in. I always start with the bottom. That'll back up with a 17mm. Give a few taps with a hammer just to tighten it up. Next you want to take the front brake and stick it in there. Make sure it's the same curvature of the rotor. You want to bring the caliper back around. Now the next step is to get these bolts started, which I'm going to tell you, they're not that easy. That was loud. Yep. Now the hard part is getting it started. Alright, there's that one started. Let me see if I get the bottom one started. These you just gotta kind of snug. You ain't gotta get them too tight. While I'm tightening this up, they're supposed to have caps on them, but for some odd reason this side over here is missing. So just snug them up. Since she bought the gold pads, it come with the new spring. So we'll put the spring back on there the way we got it off. You can use a screwdriver, you can use a pair of pliers, whatever you have. Just kind of use the hammer to tap it back in. There you go. Front brakes and rotors. Make sure you take your lug nut off. Make sure you take your lug nut off so you can put the tire back on here. And that's front brakes and rotors on the driver's side. I'm over here on the passenger side. And this side has the little covers where the other side did. So now you just do it the same way you done on the other side. Take two 7mm hex out 17mm brackets. Push in the piston, take the brakes out, put the brakes in, take the rotor out. The new rotor's already been cleaned, stick it all back together. So here we go. Oh well, this bottom one wasn't even tapped. Going to be a little more difficult than the other side. I have to take the whole bracket off because I can't get the bottom screw out. Let's see what's going on here. Pause y'all for a minute, be right back. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but this top bolt, this top slide bracket bolt here won't come out, so I had to get up here in the light so I can see what's going on with it here. I don't know if it's it's not coming out. Let me get a screwdriver and see if I can push it out. Yep. Aha, so is it? Finally got it loose. Gotta take the spring out of it. Spring off of it, no problem. And I can take the front brakes out. Now I gotta look to see if it's. So what's going on is the little sleeve right here that the screw goes into. This one is off. So I need to call the parts store to see if I can get just the bracket or if I have to buy the whole entire caliper. We'll be right back. Alright, so got to use a 13mm to break the brake line loose. I'd already broke it loose with a hammer off camera. Looks like I'm going to have to take the bracket back off. Okay. Alright. Well, I was hoping that I could spin it, but I can't. The line's in the way on one side. Come on there, baby, come on. Here we go, come on. See if I can push this out. Yep, alright. Take this back off. Now I have to spin. I have to take the rotor and spin it around. Sometimes you have to do this because obviously it looks like everything's either stuck or it don't want to spin. So let's spin it around and screw it. Okay. Okay. Put that right there. Alright, we got, I don't know if you can see that. We've got good flow in the line, which means that the lines ain't collapsed. Mazda ain't nothing but a Ford, so normally a Ford, those rubber lines collapse. Good thing this one here, it has not collapsed, so that's a good thing. Try to do this as fast as you can so you don't lose a lot of brake fluid. Alright, move that over here to the side. Take this off. Remember, we are doing brakes and rotors, so we'll put the new rotor on there, which I've cleaned offline. Get a lug nut, screw it on there to hold it. Alright. We'll take the new bracket and we'll reinstall the new bracket. Come on. My flashlight is about dead. Another bolt. Right here. So now that I got the new bracket, we will go ahead and we'll take the new caliper and we'll tighten it up. Let's see if I can get it started. Make sure you don't want to cross thread it. There we go. Nice and easy. Just keep turning it. Alright. Now, your 13 millimeter. Snug it up just a little bit. Now we'll move that out of the way. Alright, so now let's get this bracket put back on here. Give it a few taps. Alright. Alright. Yep, my flashlight has just went out, so no more flashlight. So now that you got the bracket put back on there, we'll put the brakes on there. This don't have any hardware besides the spring. So just make sure you put the brakes with the curvature of the rotor. So this one will go like this. Okay, we'll spin this around like this. Down here like so. Get this started. Like I probably said in the past, brake fluid is slippery. Once you get it on your gloves or hands, it's just so slippery. Okay. You see, this side didn't come out enough, so you're gonna have to push it back out. All right, there we go. Get started here. It's just. I'm telling you, my gloves are so slippery, I can't do nothing with them. Once that brake fluid gets on there, man, it's just, it won't come off. I got to start it now. All right. Like I said, these you just have to snug up. Nothing like the brackets. Okay. All right, now both of those are snug. We'll go ahead and put the little covers over them. In there. There's one on the top. So what I did is considering that side didn't have any of these little covers, I just took the covers off of this side, stuck it over there. So now that's good. Now we've got to take this spring and stick it back in the front right here. You might have to take your pair of pliers to be able to bend it back over there. And that goes into place just like that right there. Take the lug nut back off. Screw it just like this. Alright, so now the next thing I want to do is I want to snug up this 13 millimeter one more time so everything's together tight. You just want to snug it up, you don't want to over tighten it. Okay. Give it a good wipe. I don't want to over tighten it. I don't want to twist the line either. The next thing you want to do is you want to find the size to fit that bleeder screw. See if it's a 10 millimeter. Might be an 11. That's 10 millimeter. What you want to do is you want to, what I call gravity bleed. I think I've done it on one of my other videos. You just take this out. What it is you want to let gravity just push the brake fluid through until it starts coming out that hole. That means you've got about 90% of the air out of the caliper. So whenever you go to bleed them, you won't use nearly as much brake fluid. So let that sit there for a few minutes, and I'm going to do a little cleaning up. I'll be right back. All right, as you can see, it is starting to drip through the bleeder screw, which means the brake fluid has got all the way through the caliper as I kick y'all. So what I do is I will put the bleeder screw back in. Also, be careful not to cross thread it. Okay. All right. I do not have a rag. It is a 10 millimeter, by the way. All right. So now the next thing to do is to bleed the brakes. I got Melissa in the car. So what she's going to do is she's going to pump the brake stiff. I'm going to break the bleeder screw loose. Fluid's going to come out and hit my cardboard. Hopefully not get too big of a mess. We're going to do that about 3 or 4 times until she says she's got a good pedal. All right. So slowly pump it up. There we go. All right. Ready? I got to get it on here. All right. Breaking the bleeder screw loose. Right. Hold on. All right, again. It ain't got a very good stream yet, so all right, do it again. You can see the caliper moving as she pumps the brakes. There we go. That looked pretty good there. All right. Let me tighten it up one more time here, and we'll do it one more time. If it does that good that time, then we'll call it. All right, do it again. All right. Let's see if it comes out that good, then we'll call it. Yeah, that looks pretty good there. All right, pump it up. Let off. All right, hit it. Let off. All right, that'll work. All right, now the thing to do is clean everything up and just kind of watch it for a few minutes, make sure I ain't got no leaks. All right, I've been away from this thing on and off all day long, so let me recap. So put new brakes and rotors on each side. Had to put a new caliper on this one because the caliper pin wasn't tight. The little insert was gone, so I had to put a new caliper on there. Melissa helped me bleed it, got everything back together. 7mm hex socket for the caliper bolts, a 17mm socket for the caliper bracket. Then you got this little spring here you got to put back on there. That's the only hardware it come with. So now only thing left to do is put the wheels and tires on there, take them for a test drive, and make sure before you take it to a test drive, you've got the brake reservoir cap put back on there. Well, there you have it, folks. Front brakes and rotors on a 2012 Mazda 5. Only thing left to do is take it for a test drive. If there's any difficulties, you'll see me back. But if not, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. If you like what I do, like watching my videos, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So until next time, bye now.